Hello everyone and welcome to the Den. Tonight we're going to do another one of my how to use what you've canned videos, and we're going to be using our chicken noodle soup base. So I'm going to show you how I make chicken and noodle soup with this. It's super fast. I have bread going in my bread machine. I've cheated, so it's just way easier, and I had so much stuff to do today. So anyways, we're going to get this going, so let me grab a pot and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so I have 3 cans of it here. Normally I only use 2, but because I'm not doing rice, normally I would do chicken and rice. It seems just to be more hearty with the rice. So I'm going to use 3 because I'm going to add these egg noodles in there. I'm just going to use 1 package of egg noodles. So we're going to pop open our jars. That's the first thing we're going to do, and we're just going to get them in our pot. So what you're looking for here is this rush of air to come in when you pop this lid. So they make a certain sound, and when you get used to canning, you'll know the sound. So we're gonna take our can opener and we're gonna look and listen for that rush of air. So if you can see this here. All right, let's get this open. There we go, and you could hear the rush of air, could see it coming in, and then you just want to give it a smell. It smells like chicken soup, and I do that with all my jars every single time that I use something. So, there we go. One is good and sealed. This one has a dent in the lid, but still sounds fine. Just look for that little lip. And there we go. Alright, so I'm just going to pour my soup base straight on in. Sometimes you have to get a knife and break up the chicken. So it likes to clump in there. Alright, and I'm going to do that with all 3 of my jars. Okay, so you can see here I've emptied all 3 of my jars here. And you can see that there's not a whole lot of extra broth. So I'm going to need space for the noodles, and if you are making rice, you have to compensate for the water that the rice would soak up. So always add extra broth or water, whichever one you want to do. I think broth is better. If you have some homemade broth, throw that in there. I'm all out of stock right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my jars and I'm going to go ahead and fill up 2 quarts, and I'm going to see what that yields me. I'm going to start with 1 quart at a time, and I'm going to stir it, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add in, like I said, I don't have any canned stock right now, so I'm just going to add water and then put my bouillon cubes in there. So I'm going to do 4 bouillon cubes to 1 quart. This could be even easier if you had some rice on hand that you have just left over in the fridge from, you know, a meal this week, during the week or whatever. You could just put that cooked rice in there. You wouldn't even have to really worry about adding too much more liquid. You could just, you know, throw those 2 ingredients, the jar of soup base and some rice in there, and it would be a full meal. But I don't have any rice left over right now, so I'm going to do it this way. And I am going to use bouillon cubes. You could use better than bouillon or whatever that stuff is. You could use, like I said, your canned chicken stock is obviously the best. But this is what I have, so this is what I'm using. So I'm just going to go ahead and give that a stir. And I'm still going to need a little bit of extra space, I think, for noodles. So I'm going to add 1 more quart, and I probably will only add 2 more bouillon cubes to that, and I'll see how it tastes. But my heat is on high. I'm going to bring this to a simmer, and then about 15 minutes before we eat, I'll throw the egg noodles in there. But let's get it going all the way with the stock. Okay, so I added about another ½ quart of liquid in here, so I have about 1.5 quarts right now, maybe a little more. I just pretty much rinsed these jars to get as much stuff out of it as I could. So they were to about here, so just over a cup, about a cup and a half in each. So we're about at a quart and a half of extra liquid, and I put 6 bouillon cubes in here. So I'm gonna let this boil. If you had leftover vegetables from the week that you're looking to get rid of, anything could go into this to get rid of your leftovers as well. You could put mushrooms, you could do extra carrots, celery, you could throw extra onion in here. If you're going to throw extra vegetables, just allow them time to cook. But this is an excellent way to use some of the leftovers, and you start with this as your starting point. So I'm just gonna, just use it straight out of the jar like that with added broth in there, and just add some noodles. So we're just gonna let this do its thing. Once it comes up to a boil, I'll do a little taste test after that bouillon has completely dissolved and mixed in. And otherwise, this is pretty much it. So when I go to add the noodles, I'll bring you back and I'll show you that part. Okay, so we're at a full boil here, and I tasted it, and it tastes fine to me. It tastes really good. So I'm just gonna let this boil for a while. It's ready to go after about 10 minutes, if you just wanna let it boil for about 10 minutes, but I'm gonna turn my heat down to medium for now. And as soon as I get ready to add the noodles, I'll turn it back up to high and add them in, but I'll bring you back for that part. All right, so we're about 10 minutes out from the bread being done, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add in my noodles now. These noodles only take about 10 minutes, 8 minutes actually. I'm just gonna stir them in there, and I'm just gonna leave it at this like simmer. And that's about it. And these are gonna get, as big as noodles get. So that's it. So we're just gonna let those cook up, and then when we're ready to eat, we'll serve a bowl and see what it looks like. Okay, so here it is. There's the final product, and we're gonna sit down and have dinner now. I've made my bread in the bread maker, so this is what it turned out looking like, and you can see it's nice and thick, lots of noodles. You could add more liquid if you wanted to, but we like ours thick like this, so it's kind of like a stew. So there you have it. Okay, so that's gonna do it for me today. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you get something out of it. I hope that it makes you want to go can up this chicken noodle base and see what you can do with it. I'll be posting other videos to give you more versatility with this soup base. Again, it is very versatile, and it's good to have on hand. It's super quick. You could just throw this in the pot and simmer it up and have a quick meal in no time, because you've already done all the hard work. So again, that's it for me today, and if you like these type of videos, you want to learn how to do more stuff like this, or just how to can, then subscribe. Please subscribe. I appreciate it. If you're interested in my Welcome to the Den Daily, I will link it below, and hopefully you can check out my vlog videos. So that's going to do it for me today, so I'll see you in the next video.